creativity, creation. We're here and then we're here, we're here and then we're here. But fear does not have to have a driver's seat. It can be in the back, quiet, not talking. But we all been waiting for the black lip. Hi everyone, welcome back to Deep Dive Thursdays, where every Thursday we take a deep dive into perspective, topics, thoughts that we have about life, and we dive into the reasons behind them. Do those reasons serve us, and a way to change it, to make it a little bit better for us, and to make it a better life for us. My name is Crystal Lee, the creator of Chance at Life Mindset. Today's topic is creativity, creation, creatives, all that. So take a dive with me, Crystal Lee, into creativity. Wow, oh my god, it rhymed. Let's go. So we're going to talk about creativity, what I create, a Halloween look. It's mid-October, it's spooky season, I'm back on my bullshit, and I want to do a Halloween look, which is funny because I'm going to be doing 2 more videos with the look. I'm going to have to deal with it because that's just my life, and it's me with the makeup. So I'm going to create a Halloween look. I'm not going to be a monster. I don't have that much makeup to do that with. But yeah, so let's get into it. Also, prereq, when I do a Get Ready With Me Deep Dive Thursdays, just know I don't know much about makeup. I just know it works for me. I don't know anything about products. We'll not be talking about products or techniques or brushes or anything like that. I'm just doing this and talking to you as if you were here with me. So let's do this. I think of creativity like the physical things, but we literally create all the time. We're creating every single step, every minute of every day, every second of every minute, so on and so forth. And when I say create, I mean our thoughts create our reality. What we say creates our reality. Just certain stuff like that. So everything that we do is a part of creating something, whether we know it or not. And today I just want to talk about like creation and how to stay creative. For me, I personally just launched a business called Creative at Life, where I help people get organized with their life and creation, how to integrate creativity into their everyday life for maybe a side hustle, an idea they want to come to life, or just a way to have happiness and creation within everyday life. Because I have a 9-to-5 and I also have a YouTube channel, and I also just created a business. So to do all that, I will have to, have some type of organization, and so Creative at Life is a way to do that. Anyway, I said all this to say that everything that we do is creation, and creation brings us happiness. So it's really important to put it in our lives. I'm gonna start by saying that think of creativity as a snowball. If you take a snowball with the right kind of snow, anyway, just focus to be here, not the actual logistics of it, but if you take a snowball and you push it down a hill, the more the snowball rolls, the bigger the snowball gets. And think of creativity as a snowball where one idea can be the catalyst for millions. Quoted by Crystal Lee, don't steal it, don't take it, it's my quote, mine. One idea can be the catalyst for a million ideas. When it came to this YouTube channel, Chance at Life, it started off as a video idea, like a one-time, one-shot video idea where I just sit down and have a montage of my life's happiness and the reasons that I really enjoy life in a montage, and I will name it Chance at Life because you have a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born, and everything you do that makes you happy is you really taking your chance at life and making it the best. And I wanted to showcase all the things that I've done up until my 26 years of life that made me happy. That one idea turned into a website, which turned into a YouTube channel, which turned into a community. All in one, really. It all happened at the same time. I started by thinking, chance at life, you get one chance to do something at life. It's your job to make the best of it. But then I started to understand that not everyone has that concept, because there's a lot of things in life that cause us not to feel like life is a gift, but the life is a curse, really. And I wanted to be a part of the conversation when talking about the bumps and bruises we get along the way of this life. And it turned Chance at Life from a video concept into a concept for a community, and for me to actually talk about those things. And bumps and bruises, I mean, like in life we have trauma, or we have events that make us a little less curious about life and a little bit more cautious at life. And I want to talk about those things, and this is where Deep Dive Thursday came into play. And so an idea that started off just as a small video came into something bigger. I know it's kind of like a me type of thing, but my experiences in my life I think are helpful to others, and that's why I can talk about it from my point of view. If I sat up here and talked about cars knowing damn well I had no idea about cars, would that be authentic? No. And so I know about creativity, I've dealt with it, and so I want to talk about it. First of all, how do you let an idea flow to you that becomes a catalyst? One, you don't know that one idea that one idea is going to become the catalyst for a million ideas. You don't know that. One idea can become the catalyst for a million ideas, but you don't know which one it is. Let's be honest. There's no rhyme or reason to an idea. The few things that make an idea a catalyst is the idea. One, gets you excited to actually do it. Your excitement opens you up for the idea to expand. The idea has to get you excited and has to be authentically you. It has to make you happy. If you're coming up with an idea just because everyone else is doing it, because you don't have anything, that's fine. I think it's fine to an extent that you're not just doing it because everyone else is doing it. Because a lot of people don't know a lot of the ideas they want to partake in. And so trying something and figuring out what you like from there is also a good idea. But I'm going to strictly talk about authenticity and excitement. If you find something that makes you really happy to do, and you start doing it and you're just so focused on it, and you're so focused on creating it, and you're so focused on just getting this idea to life because you're so happy about it, you become in a state of flow. And a state of flow is when you're only focused on one thing. That mind isn't having a million tabs open, it is having one tab open with a lot of things listed in that one tab. And so state of flow is keeping your mind focused on one thing. And when you're focused on one thing, your mind and your body is at ease. Yes, you're excited, and yes, you're truly flowing with an idea, but it's at ease and it's not like all anxious and all chaotic. It's just flow. And having that state of flow allows other things to come in. I love to talk. All I do is talk. I'm a talker. Could be my Gemini moon, Mars, and Mercury all working together, but I love talking. So for me to have this idea of sitting down and talking about like certain things makes sense, because to be honest, if I didn't have this camera in front of me, I'd be talking to myself about this, because that is literally all that I did. Before I had a YouTube channel, before I started posting videos, I would take topics and just talk to myself about them, because I like to deep dive into things on my own. And would I love to do that with other people? Yes, but not everyone's up to those conversations, because everyone's up to those conversations. So I did it on my own, and at some point, because I liked it so much, I felt like it could be helpful to others. I had this deep feeling that it could be helpful to others. It made me happy, and in talking to myself, I was like, you know what, this is actually good. The stuff you're saying is good because it makes sense. They're doing a one video. My first video was talking about anger and why we're so attached to our anger. Doing that and just be happy talking about that opened up to like all the other topics to talk about. These are things that I have dealt with, that I'm still dealing with, that I went to therapy for, that I have bumps and bruises that I'm healing for, and that was, you know, that's what gives me the experience to talk about it too. So it makes me happy. So again, being in the state of flow of just doing that one thing and being happy doing it, just let all of the other ideas rush in. Being authentic and doing things that make you excited and happy helps you get into a state of flow, and in that state of flow you let ideas come in because you're not blocked by inauthentic stuff, and it keeps you open to other ideas. Another thing you should know about creativity is that there will be self-doubt. There will be ideas that come to you that you may think that you don't have. You may think that you don't have the ability to actually, you know, create it. You may be a little bit fearful of your capabilities, fearful of, can you really do this? And I think whether you can or whether you cannot, you'll never know if you don't try it. If you can't and you don't try it, then you know that you can't. But if you can and you try it and you know that you can, that's good. But if you try it and you know that you can't, then again, you also know. I know that's a lot, if that makes sense. It's basically you never know if you never try, and in trying, you learn about yourself, and then you learn about what you can do. And then if you do it and you're like, you know, I made some mistakes, I could do better, then you try it again with your newfound knowledge from trying it the first. Not every idea is going to be as smooth as you think when you first roll it out. And that's just being realistic. I think ideas don't have to be I think some ideas don't have to be realistic, but in implementing them and getting them out to the world, you have to be realistic about some of the outcomes of it. It may not be what you want, maybe exactly what you want. Either way, you have to be prepared for the outcome. Even if it makes you happy, even if something that you know is coming from the purest of purest places in your heart, there will be self-doubt because it's something that you haven't done before. Do it anyway. I had a quote the other day, and this is again my quote: there may be a list of people that doubt you. Let your name be on that list. You have to be your own biggest fan. You have to be your own competitor. It is essential to do anything in this world. And as I talk to you, I am also talking to myself because I'm still not at that. There's always growing to do when you're creating something or when you're creative of any kind. And self-doubt will be there every step of the way. Self-doubt and fear will be there every step of the way. You have to be a fearless creator either way. Fear will always be there. But fear does not have to have a driver's seat. It can be in the back, quiet, not talking. I create these videos a lot of the times. I do want people to listen to them and I do want people to learn from them. But at the end of the day, if I'm the only one creating them and watching them back and listening to what I'm saying, I'm still cheering on myself. I'm still talking to myself. If I look back, I can still say like, yeah, I said that. Yeah, I understood that. Yeah, I grew from that one place where I talked about that one thing. Create for yourself. And it goes along with the authenticity part, but don't just create something that other people want to see. Create something for yourself, and if people love it, that's just a bonus. Do I think people can learn from my videos? Yes. Deep. Another tip about creativity I would say is don't be afraid to learn from other people. Learning from other people isn't a bad thing, and it doesn't take away from authenticity. Because I learned from this one poet named Jasmine that I follow on Instagram that even though somebody created something that you want to create, the detail in the creation is you, because your mind is your mind. You think the way you think and you feel the way you feel, and adding your detail, that you factor, an idea that may be done before, is still coming from you. Don't be afraid to learn from other people or be inspired by others. It doesn't take away from your authenticity. Creating from an authentic place helps the collective. You put out there, it can help other people find what they want to do and how they want to create. And you may pick up something or say something that no one has ever said before. What I said so far is what to do when to get creative. What happens when you're feeling stuck? One, it is imperative that you have patience with yourself. You're not always going to have an idea. You're not always going to have a creative flow. It's just sometimes you just get stuck, and that's fine. It's not that you did anything wrong. It's not that what you're creating or your ideas have just ran out. Maybe your brain is tired. I don't know. I really don't know what causes stuckage because I've been there, but I just don't know what causes it. You just don't have anything. You just went poof, poof in the blumbled. You just don't, and that's okay. Have patience with yourself. Don't get too hard on yourself. Don't say that you're anything less than a creative person because you can't find an idea to execute at this time. It's not that your time is gone. It's not anything like that. Just sometimes you don't have an idea. What you can do is to get those ideas flowing, and what I've figured out is maybe go back to the root. Go back to the root, the initial start of your creativity and what actually, made this burst of creation come into play. Just go back to like the root, like what were you doing before you got stuck? Go there. It's like it's okay to go back just to move forward. Go back to your other ideas and just like reminisce about how you felt when you were creating that stuff, and maybe it'll like spark another idea, like something like a different expansion part of that idea maybe hasn't come into play yet, and maybe you should ride that wave. Journaling, like different writing prompts. So I've created for my Creative at Life subscription box, I've created prompts for like people to journal, whoever may purchase the box, to journal, just to get them thinking again, to help them be more creative. Not only to be creative, but to be mindful. So some of the prompts are like mindful prompts, like sitting down for a minute, breathing, and then just feeling your body and feeling how, it feels like, is it in pain? Is it okay? Do you feel a little stress other places? And it just helps just get people into their body. So journaling helps too, and just creating whatever. But I think the biggest part of being stuck is being okay with being stuck. Personally, was afraid at first to create a YouTube channel and start doing anything because I was so afraid to be that person who comes out with one thing and then never does anything again. And that's so judgmental of me to think that that person needed to, one, continue creating something that they created only once, to be one and done is fine. You created something and that's good. Go on with your life if you're happy that way. I was afraid of being that person. Be afraid of being that person. So I sat down and like thought of all these ideas that I can do, which was good. It's a good thing that I did that because it made an abundance of ideas. But at the same time, it was kind of sort of based in fear. So some of those ideas that I wrote down, I never really got to do because some of those ideas didn't make me happy. They were just something to do in fear of not having something else to create and put out into the world. You shouldn't have that fear. Again, it takes you out of flow state, it takes you out of the excitement of creating, it puts too much stress and pressure on yourself to create, and you don't want that. But we all been waiting for the black lip. Do you think one of the tips about creating should be don't let anyone tell you that your idea is crazy, that you shouldn't do it? But I think that goes on with self-doubt. Don't let other people feed into your self-doubt. Let other people tell you that your idea is crazy. Don't let other people tell you that what you think isn't valid. What you have to create and what you have to put out into the world, it's valid, or else you wouldn't have it, or else it wouldn't have flowed into your cranium. It's not about hurting someone or hurting yourself. Your idea is to be created and put out into the world for other people to see. If you want that to be a thing. If you don't do the idea, let yourself nip the idea in the bud on your terms, no one else's. Oh, I look fantabulous. I need to fix my makeup up. This is the ending look that I've been wanting to create for the past like however long this video is. This is what I created. Did I have this in mind when I started? No, I was actually gonna do a plain old look for the rest of my videos that I'm going to be recording today. But I had a feeling and I just went with it, and I'm loving how it came out. If that's not the best way to end a video about creativity, I don't know what the best is. You start off with one thing, you end up with another thing. Either way, you love it. Being your creative, authentic self, putting your idea out in the world leaves the collective better. And I always say that because when we work on ourselves, when we heal ourselves, when we create for ourselves, we create for the world, and we lift it up, taking our chance at life and making it the most creative it can be while we're here. And that's fucking beautiful.